I pressed it. I pressed the button.
Well, it ain't working.
In a world of smoking stories where the good times flow, there's a podcast rolling, putting on a show. The three amigos gathered, mic in hand, you see. The cigar loons are calling, wild and fancy free. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The cigar loons are living out the podcast dream. From humble beginnings, just a thought, a spark. Now they're lighting up the airwaves, leaving their mark. They talk of life and laughter, and the cigars they hold dear, dispelling all the worries, banishing all fear. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The cigar loons are living out the podcast dream. Through debates and discussions, they always find a way to make you feel at home at the close of every day, with tales from their adventures and insights sharp and keen. The cigar loons are truly quite the listening scene. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The cigar loons are living out the podcast dream. So light up your stogie, settle in and hear. The cigar loons are talking, bringing joy to your ear. Guys Grumpy and Matthew, a perfect smoky blend. Tune into the loons until the very end.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
We're here.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Namaste.
Something, I don't know, but we're here. We're here.
Where are you?
Obvious.
I think. Are we on?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 11, 12, 13. Hey, it's
I
Tuesday.
guess we're doing.
Welcome, everyone.
I guess we're all right. I don't hear any helicopters or, see anything funny flying around the sky. So I guess we're all right. No rainy
I've
looking.
been
But,
kidnapped by UFOs tonight. Here comes the rain.
oh
But
no!
yeah, welcome everyone. Of course,
Yeah.
it's Tuesday
What's up, everybody?
night. It's
Can you tell we're
now, of
unsupervised?
course, it's now it's coming up to 7:05 Eastern, and we are the Cigar Loons. Of course, myself, Gaz, Grumpy, and Matthew. Of course.
What's up?
And
How y'all doing? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's a
welcome.
lot better. Pretty color
yeah,
too.
tonight
Matches my cigar
I
band.
pulled out. Yeah, tonight I pulled out a cigar that I've never had, and of course, it's made by Oliva Cigars, and it's the Flora Oliva, of course, Maduro, and never had it. So this is going to be an interesting. It is a Toro, and of course, made in Nicaragua, and it's been brought into the UK. So it's the first one, to be honest, that I've never had. But of course, Grump, Matthew,
Well,
what cigar are you going to be smoking tonight, my brothers, on the podcast?
Hmm.
Why I get mine, mate?
Yeah. Well, I have probably won't show up on the camera very well because I got to block fucking my background and shit. But I have a Gurkha Year of the Dragon. This is the one that AJ Fernandez blended. It is 6 1/4 or something like that. Sorry, 6 3/4 by 52 Figurado. Ecuador Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan, everything else. Supposed to be medium full. We'll see. So far,
Okay.
tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I think mine's Ecuadorian Habano or something. I'm not too sure.
Throw it down.
Grump.
Not the right way to do that.
Oh, cool.
Throw it down. There's somebody. 40, what's up, club? What's up, man? Oh, tonight, the last of the last of the good ones. Platinum Nova. This is the Platinum Batch Torpedo. Ecuadorian Habano 2000 wrapper with Dominican binder and Dominican fillers. And it's the Torpedo, which is a 6x54. That's the Vitoli of it. But yeah, and we cranked it up, so ain't got a lot to talk about yet, but you know, we're just getting it cranked up.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's got
something. It's interesting. It's interesting with the cigars we picked out tonight, of course, and I'm just checking something because, to be honest with you, I haven't done no reading up on my cigar, and that's the thing.
What's up, Philip?
Trying to be a bougie bitch tonight.
DNH.
What's up, DNH?
But of course, it says on my cigar, it's Ecuadorian Maduro, bind it as Nicaraguan, fill it as Nicaraguan, and it's on the medium strength. And of course, it's a Toro 6x50. And you know something? It's a rate for start. It is. I mean, he just in it, of course, but we'll see. But dang, what a crazy time that's been going on. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but of course, the fucking FDA again sued. $10 million they're getting fucking sued. The FDA.
Yep.
And they've got to pay out, of course, to Arturo Fuentes, Jerron, JC Newman, and so forth. What a fucking win for them, ain't it?
Sounds to me like maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to look at it. Yeah. Don't you wish y'all had that much help over there when your tobacco ban come around? Where was all those names? Where was all those names at over there fighting over there when that was coming?
I'm glad you said it because that was a conversation that was brought up. Where was Carlito? Where was, of course, Padron? Where was JC Newman? Where was Rocky Patel? Where was this one to come over and help us to fight? At the end of the day, as we know, in the States, if the companies hadn't stepped forward and fought the FDA, your local mom and pop shops, Neptune's, for instance, Cigar Page, for instance, or wherever, they ain't got that kind of capital to fight the FDA. Like, of course, in England, our mom and pops didn't have that kind of money fight the fucking MPs at number 10. But the companies did, and to be honest with you, I think it's great that the companies are getting that money back because you think that's a lot of fucking money they put in to fight the FDA. So to get 10 million back, it's not covering all the cost, but at least they're getting a bit of chunk change fucking back.
But I almost have to look, and of course, me, I look at things from 9 different angles and then decide on the 10th one. But I mean, they didn't come over there and put up much of a fight. What if? I mean, what if for some reason they were all looking for an out? Looking for a way out of the UK.
Yeah.
That would certainly, that would certainly bring about a pretty good reason. Well, we don't want our product over no more because y'all got that crazy tobacco ban. When they could have just as easily came over there, represented, fought it, and possibly, turned it back or delayed it a few years or something. But they didn't do much of anything.
I don't think, Grump, to be honest with you, even with me being in the UK and kind of knowing bits and bobs about it and stuff, no matter even if the companies have fought it over here, put in all the money, put in all the research, it was always going to get passed because the Conservative Party were the first one.
Yeah.
Labour, of course, passed it. The King passed it into law. The fact of it is, you think as if, say, Arturo Fuente, Padron, or Cohiba, or Trinidad, any of them, right?
Yeah,
They left
anybody.
the UK and went. That's some pocket change in their arse pocket that they're going to lose because at the end of the day, England buys a lot of fucking cigars from them countries, from them people. Their importers are here that also have ports in Europe where their cigars go through to then another importer.
Right.
So that's a lot of traction and a lot of business that can be lost. Now, yeah, they could have come over and tried to fault it, but to be honest with you, when they've already got the battle with the FDA and the amount of money there's to shoving in there in the States with you guys trying to save your rights, can you imagine the amount of fucking money they'd have to put in here to do it? You wouldn't be able to survive fighting two countries because then you fight America, you fight England. Oh, now comes out the woodwork. We've got to go and fight it in Germany. Now we've got to go fight it in Belgium, Spain, fucking Italy, and so forth and so forth. By the time they're done, they'll be fighting every fucking country around the world on a generational tobacco ban. Company might as well go fucking bust because they've got no money now.
Right.
It's crazy, isn't it? And
it is that.
I thought it was a great win, though. I thought it was a great win for them, and well done, because at the end of the day, there's two words for the FDA. Fuck the FDA. Pure and simple. Fuck the FDA on their ruling at the end of the day, because we ain't doing no harm. This is,
and you're not even here.
Tobacco.
Yeah, if we could just all sit down and have a cigar.
Right?
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if we could just have a cigar,
the world would be a much better place.
It would.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Cigar Smoker is smoking the Ojan Group of 5. And of course, hello to Marcus watching there over on Instagram.
I started to say.
To anyone who's watching there on Instagram, your best place to get is in the comments so we can see it is here on YouTube. And hello to everyone there on rumble.com as well.
Yeah.
But Grump, you were on about an interesting conversation yesterday, and the conspiracy theory around Lindsey Graham. So what the fuck's going on, brother? Go on, give it to someone that's in England that doesn't really fucking know much. Give me the scope, brother, of what's going on. Give us the scope.
Well, I mean, you can chase down just about any notion you want to chase down on this topic, but if you were playing, y'all remember the old game Clue, right? Who did it?
Yeah.
Where'd they do it? What'd they do it with? And all that. Well, if the latest tale out on the streets, Putin did it in the Ukrainian hotel and he used a missile. That's the latest current story. And all
Just
they
one
did
missile?
was fly him home. He wasn't even thumping when they landed over here, and they kept it hid till they could line up an ambulance coming to get him at home. That's some of the latest. That's some of the latest that I've heard floating around. Of course, I've also heard about that Zelensky handshake, and 2 or 3 days after that, you have some unrecognizable symptoms or undetectable symptoms, or and then you lay down and there you go.
The handshake of doom. The
And
handshake
who
of
was
doom.
it? Yeah, who was it? Who was the last? Who was the last one to see the Queen and them over there? That's JD, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 So I mean, there's all kinds. There's all kinds. I mean, and everybody knew what Graham's politics were. I mean, yeah, okay, he flies a Republican flag, but in my opinion, he was a bigger war hawk than LBJ was. And that's saying something. But it's crazy when you start looking at the puzzle pieces. It could have been several. It could have came from several different directions, or it could have been Abba Father himself saying, "Time out, Lindsay. We don't know, and we may never know." But
but today it was talked about poisoning. So that's what DH has said. Today it was mentioned about poisoning.
That's some of that handshake stuff. Yeah.
It is funny though to
put it on you and it don't come off.
The whole thing about the hotel.
I mean, it's not funny. Don't get me wrong, but
it does remind you of that game, and the game over here. It's called Cluedo.
Yeah.
So of course you play the game. It's like Mrs. Red. She did it with the candlestick, and it was in the drawing room. It's like, how many fucking conspiracy theories is there? Did the guy die? It's like when we lose a pop star or a rock star or whoever. Oh yeah, Kurt Cobain. Yeah, he didn't do it. It was someone else. It was staged. His letter was staged. He's now living down in fucking California somewhere, enjoying the nice life and riding a skateboard.
Witness protection and all kinds of tales.
Yeah, we just don't know, do we? There's so much.
That's it. I mean, how do you verify? How do you prove?
Oh boy.
I mean, really? I mean, you just gotta hit the grass. I like that. Exactly. Don't watch
you
the
drinking,
driver,
Matthew?
Yeah, don't watch the driver in the actual real video.
Penelope weeded bourbon.
Oh, you're drinking a lady's drink tonight, are you?
Yeah, it's even got flowers on it.
Oh, look at you! Are you going to put that pinky up as well?
He's drinking bougie and light tonight. Bougie and light.
But of course,
got a pair of this fancy cigar with something nice.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Is it going with the cigar? I know Grumps, of course, got a nice cup of coffee.
I do, and ice water too, buddy. Got that ice water.
Yeah. I don't blame you, to be honest. Fucking
this
weather.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's been crazy for you guys in the States with all the sun and then all this rain and thunder and lightning. You know something? I can't remember the last time it fucking pissed down because it's been that warm over here with the sun. It was crazy because we moan about it being sunny. We moan about it being wet all the time. You can never keep somebody happy, but I've got to say one thing I've really enjoyed. If this is my summit, I've enjoyed it being able to sit in the garden with Rocky and Blue, have a cigar, and unwind. Put the headset on or take the speaker out, listen to the music,
Yeah.
chill out. And of course, I just want to say thank you to all the brothers and sisters, of course, in the TikTok group that we hang around in for the birthday wishes. And of course, to you, Grump, and to you, Matthew, for wishing me happy birthday. I had a great birthday on the 11th. It's not every year you return 21. It isn't.
Yeah, I'm on my third time around.
Math ain't math in there, buddy.
Fuck you, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm past my third orbit on that one.
Well, if you start about July, miss, you're getting a permanent fucking ban, brother. Let me put it that way. If you go about July, miss, you're getting a permanent fucking ban.
I mean,
if
we're being honest,
July, miss.
If we're being honest, his
God,
birthday was
jeez.
most likely sometime in June or July.
Whose birthday?
Jesus.
Wow.
It wasn't in December. That's for fucking sure.
No.
Well,
No.
I just don't. I don't.
Not that he
get
would
this
approve
July
of my
miss,
language
this-
right now, but
I don't.
Well,
get this
I mean,
July
you know.
miss and all this other stuff. I don't.
I have
it's just-
opinions on all that, but who am I?
Yeah, but what are your opinions on that?
my
Grump?
language
Come on.
or
I'm not official. What?
my
Opinions on what?
language or the
On
birthday?
on language?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean their words. You know, yes, we're supposed to watch our mouth, but
I'm watching it right now. It's right on the screen.
exactly.
I can see it.
And-
Look, I'm
and
looking
I
at my
mean,
mouth and it says
you know,
fuck.
yeah, we can use words to hurt each other. We shouldn't do that. But I mean, you know,
No.
I'm not going to be one to sit back now. It's obvious we're not going to go walk in a church service and just start, you know,
No.
flying the profanities. I mean,
I've
you
been
know,
known to accidentally swear in church, but I try not to.
I mean, you know, but you know what I'm saying, though. I don't look at that
Yep.
as a condemning factor. I you know, people would
Well,
say that I have a loose view. Of course, that's what your hardcores would say.
Yeah, you
But-
and me both, brother.
What I would say, and this is what aggravates some people, but you know, you're not going to shake my faith that he's real. You know, you're not going to shake my
Yep.
faith in that. I've been through too much, been walked out of too much, so you're not going to shake my faith. Even though I read the book different and I conceive something different when I go into my meditation and talk to him about things, he shows me things different than what a lot of people take that book to say. And if you go back and read the book and use the comprehension and not the glasses that Mama and Papa taught you through, a lot of it's just common sense. You can see the difference, you know. Mainly, the thing that I say, it's the red letters for me. If I'm going to follow something, I'm going to follow him, and I'm going to follow what he taught and what he said. And that's another thing that upsets people when it comes to me and the way I see it, is because I don't have the same view of Paul and his writings that the majority of the Christian public do. You know, I see that as something totally different, and I can't understand why more people can't or don't, but that's not for me to judge. That's just me seeing something different than somebody else does. You know, so I'm not going to bash how anybody looks at it or believes it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, sometimes I get too carried away with those things.
I think
So
if anything, everyone should have Everyone should have their own viewpoint, no matter what part of religion you preach. If you are, of course, Christian, if you're Buddhist, if you're a Hindu, if you're a Sikh, if you're a Muslim, whichever, Catholic, whichever, you should be able to do it as you want and believe what you want and take your own interpretation of the words that was written. And this is the thing, and I think for far too long, we've had what's been pushed down our throats at either Sunday school or in church that people haven't properly read the text. And then we spoke about this just before we started and Matthew joined. When you take the rose-tinted glasses off and you start reading it yourself, bang. And this is the thing.
Exactly.
I get where you stand, brother, right? I get where you stand.
Well,
I do, and that's the thing. But
and we have to look at this. We were all, every one of us, pretty much everybody living right now, in this time realm that we're in, we were all brought up and raised under the basic same educational system. We were all told what to think, what to believe. We were given all the answers for all the tests, and we were never actually taught how to think. We weren't taught how to look at it with our own eyes and use our own God-given senses and reasoning and come up with our own answer. No, we were already told and given the answer. Go back and look at how you were educated. Yeah, and then when you start reading things, you start reading, you start reading them red letters in that book. And then you go back and you start reading what that other fella wrote in all his letters to all them churches. And all of a sudden we go from the kingdom is within you, seek ye first the kingdom, to, if you read them other letters, let me stand out here and look up yonder to the sky and beg for what I need.
Yep.
Makes no sense. Yep. That's not what I got out of the red letter lessons. No, what I got out of the red letter lessons when he showed me to go back and read them again was you got it every bit. It was all given to you. Learn how to use it.
And that's the thing.
And I ain't afraid to ask him to show me neither. And they can think I'm weird if they want to.
We've seen it and we spoke about it. You've even spoke about it on, of course, Grumpy's Coffee's talk show, and about the preachers that have got all these big, nice, fancy, multi-million-pound homes. It's my church, so I get taxis, and I don't have to pay taxes to the government. Come on, give me this money. If you don't give me $1,000 tonight, your house is going to burn down. You're going to be a sinner. Give me $1,000 tonight, and I will show you the path of light. What a fucking crock of shit. He's only after a new fucking airplane, motherfucker.
Well,
that's the thing.
And
crazy.
This is why I worry. This is why I worry about our country.
That's it. There's so many reasons I worry about our country.
Well, I mean, no. Look who the spiritual advisor for the White House is.
You have to tell me because I don't know.
Paula White.
I don't know who that is.
You just have all you got to do is just Google. Just Google that name.
Yeah,
that's Trump's. That's the White House spiritual advisor or whatever. She holds some sort of White House spiritual title of some sort up there.
Okay.
And I mean, I've never been a fan. I'm not one to bash anybody in their ministries, but there's things I just can't go along with and follow, and that's one of them. So, and it's not the fact she's a woman. I sit under a female pastor right now myself, so I don't have a problem with that.
No, it's like,
You
it's
know,
like when I used to go to church here, we've had, of course, female reverends and stuff, and I got no problem with that. I got no problem with male reverends and all the rest. You know, something like club
trying
sport
in
there,
God we trust.
and God we trust, and that's the thing. And there's just so much out there, and I think a lot of the times, just read the text yourself, understand the text, and just be careful out there, because there's so much that we've been told over the years, and now
Yeah.
we kind of look at things different, and this is what Grumpy's on about. But here's one that's been bugging me. I'll get your takes on it. What do you think of? You look at the band. That's very fancy. What do you reckon of these other podcasts that are out there? I'm not going to name names, but when they're calling themselves number 1 podcast, number 2 podcast, the best podcast around, what do you reckon on that one? Do you reckon it's all spiel? And don't get me wrong, I wish them all the good luck in the world by calling themselves number 1 and number 2.
Well,
But fuck me, why would you put that to your name? Is your number 1 or number 2 best podcast out there?
Well, they probably saw it somewhere and decided that it was true.
That would beg the first question. You know, if you're the number 1 podcast, according to you know who has acquired the authority, you know, to ordain you the number 1 podcast or the number 2 podcast, you know, or relevant even. Who ordained themselves to choose you as that, you know, or what organization do you belong to? You know,
I am curious.
Yeah, who's voting?
Who it is that said it? You know, I
hope Mark.
I just googled it, and I'm pretty sure none of these 6 here are the one you're talking about.
Well, name the 6.
According to this, and surprise of no surprise, the Cigar Loons are not on this list.
Well, darn.
The Cigar Authority. Cigar Authority number 1, hosted by David Garofalo. That should be not a surprise. It's a big time podcast. Eat, Drink, Smoke with Tony Katz and Fingers Malloy. Another bigger one.
Yep.
Never heard of this third one, but I'm, whatever. That I'm not that big on podcasts. But the Stogie Geeks.
Oh, the Stogie Geeks, yeah. I know the Stogie Geeks.
All right. The Cigar Snob podcast, which I refuse to watch that one just because.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Cigar Snob.
Cigar Guys podcast. I've seen that one.
Cigar Guys are fucking wank stains of the universe, them all. Trust me.
I don't know.
They just do think they are something.
And then Smooth Draws Radio Show and Kiss My Ash Radio.
Okay.
Never heard of that.
Well,
so I mean that's the top 6 according to that.
It's an interesting lineup.
I ordain us tonight. As we are number 1 best podcast for boutique.
Okay, I'm sure. Why not?
Oh, Grump, don't you shake your head at me tonight, my brother. Don't you shake your head at me tonight.
Oh, Lord, we're in for it. I just don't
get it. I just don't get it. You know something. I wish every podcast in the world greatness, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, having content. But you can't go out and say you're the number 1 best podcast or the number 2 best podcast, and then what you're doing, you're charging people Patreon to give them fucking content.
What are you giving?
What the fuck?
That's what I want to know.
Well, yeah. What do we have that would be worth charging somebody for?
Well, there is them after shows, Grump, where you take your top off and you're sitting there with your feet on the table and pointing cigars in your toes. So we could charge for that one, brother.
Yeah, there's. Yeah, don't worry, I got one of you too. Yeah. In photos.
That's already been used, brother.
Yeah,
you can't use that as blackmail now.
Yeah,
you can't use it now. Emily released.
Yeah, I know Emily added that photo, so yeah, it don't have no relevance no more. Emily added that to the public. Phil voted number one. We voted number one by him. That's good enough for me. Or maybe he voted himself number one. I don't know. That would have been the smart thing to do.
You laugh.
Yeah.
But have you seen there's a lot of podcasts now that are going back to the drawing board, where they're taking that time off to get back to what they originally were. And this is the thing, and I think we've spoken about it in length, haven't we? When we started, they've constantly having guests. It gets to the point when you're having 4 guests a month, you get burnt out because you're reaching out to them, you're sending the stuff and everything else and getting it sorted. Now, to me, doing our schedule pretty works great. And to be honest with you, we've had some excellent guests. I want to say again, thank you, of course, to Leo from Nova. We had a great time.
We've had some, and we got some coming very shortly.
Yeah, but what I am going to say now live, and Grumpy and Matthew know what I'm going to say. When we get sent cigars by the company, they are samples to smoke on the podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah, clarify that.
We do not take nicely the Cigar Loons, our name and podcast being used for you to go and stalk our guest and ask them for free cigars. I want to put that out there. Do not go and stalk our guests and ask him for free cigars, because that just shows that you're a cocksucking motherfucker to go out and we do not beg. We do not beg whatsoever. We always ask where we can buy the cigars, and if they like to send us cigars, they do. Please do not go and beg people for cigars. It's not great. It's not great for the community. It's not great for the industry. We don't do it. But I just want to get that out. I did. But
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
I needed to, bro. I've been sitting on it for the last week. I have.
Oh, people!
There's other stuff.
I try
There's
hard.
other stuff that's sitting in my chest, but I'm not starting.
I try real hard.
I'm not starting on because I don't want none.
I have problem children that I deal with, but I try. I really do. They just don't mind.
Best Cuban Round podcast. I'm round, but I'm not Cuban. I'm round, but I ain't Cuban.
I ain't smoking a Cuban round if you pay me.
I don't know. They're offering one company $100 if you do a collaboration with them and you get Cuban rounds. They're offering you $100 to smoke.
No. Said and done. What was said and done? What was said and done?
What Gaz just said is my guess, sir.
Oh well, that's he expresses his true feelings once in a while.
Once in a while, when the fuck does he hold anything back?
Fuck off. It is. It's like, you know something. You have a great podcast with a great guest that does something really nice. Oh, can I send you cigars? Well, yes, if you don't mind, please. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Then you do a nice thank you post and say thank you and everything. And they go and use that to then go and beg that guest that we've had for free cigars. It's like, what's this world coming to?
It's about
that's promotional. Grumpy's smoking that now on this podcast. and saying to you, Nova Cigars.
That's
When
right.
we've had
Platinum
other
Nova
cigars
Cigar.
that have sent, we have smoked
Platinum
them, and that
Nova.
is promotion. They've sent us that out of the kindness of their hearts.
Yeah,
And
Platinum
just
Nova
doing
Cigar.
and just doing
Blinded.
the thank you post.
Go follow.
It's just great. It's just crazy. It's absolutely
Just don't beg
crazy
for
in my
cigars.
eyes. Yeah, and like I say, it's been sitting hard on me that I need to gate off my chest because it really annoyed me and upset me.
Club, like I said, Club, I try, but I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do. He just don't listen.
Hello to Carolina Blue Cigars. Hello to Master Jero. Cigars to Burn.
What up?
Of course, Cigar Smoker Vet. Hi to everyone there over
Yes.
on.
Hello to everybody
Insta.
watching anywhere you are.
But
good evening. Don't mind us.
Shall we give some people a little bit of hidden information on what we're up to next week? Shall we tell them?
If you want to.
They can't nobody run it.
So
they may try.
So
they may try, but I don't think they can.
Nah, guess what? Mr. Al, as he goes by, he's already tried. These people that are coming on have already dealt with Mr. Al. And that's all I'm gonna say on Mr. Al. But yeah,
Mr. L.
we've got a great podcast coming up next week. The Great Smoke Live.
And it will be a long one, so be ready for that.
Yes, please buckle into your seat because it's going to get crazy. There's going to be 10 of us, 10 people live.
Yeah, it's going to be out.
How do you do that, guys? How do you get 10 people live? It's magic. Ho, 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 it's magic. Yeah.
The only thing we hadn't seen yet, though, was 10 people in here. How big are the boxes going to be? What kind of, what kind of layout we're going to have?
Size. Minute. But of course, we're gonna start the show off next week. And the people that are joining me, Grumpy and Matthew, of course, are going to give you an introduction to who they are. So, of course, you can go and follow them on Instagram or TikTok and get to know them and what they do. And we're going to be smoking Drew Estates Blackened Shade to Black S84. Then we're going to move it up a notch and we're going to be smoking the Blackened M81 Maduro to the core. It's going to be an interesting night. We're going to see if anyone gets the sick bucket. And Grump, go on, brother. You state the rules. What can't they do? The 2 golden rules at the steakhouse, my brother. What the 2 golden rules they can't do on the podcast?
The two golden rules of the Big Texan Steakhouse when you order that big dinner are going to be the 2 rules that apply to this. You can't stand up and you can't throw up. And that's the only rules you got.
But yeah, it's going to be a great show, of course, and we're going to be joined by some great people, of course. And please come along. Yeah. Please come along and enjoy the show.
Yeah, buddy.
Come and watch the people that join us.
If you don't watch another one all year long, don't miss next week. If you don't watch another one all year long.
And don't get me wrong, it's great to mix it up. It's great to mix it up from doing cigar reviews, cigar news, conspiracy theories, guests, to do something different. And don't get me wrong, we've got some more stuff coming up. And I can't believe next month, and I want to try and clear this up because I've said before this, August, it's 3 years that we've been podcasting. It's not 3 years that we've been podcasting. It's 3 years that the group started of the Cigar Loons. As we met on TikTok, and it came to 3 years in August when we all got together. October of this year.
Have a bucket underneath that table.
Yep. Or get a cafeteria.
There you
Of
go.
course, October is 3 years that we've been podcasting in October. And we couldn't do this, me, Grumpy, and Matthew, without our audience. So thank you for staying with us. The support, thank you to the companies that, of course, come on. And what a wild ride. Coming up to 3 years this year. It's crazy when you think of it. It's just flown. We never thought in a million years there's the caliber of guests that we've had on. We never get them. Like, of course, having Davey Spike from EP Carrillo, of course, Laurel Tilley, of course, from AJ Fernandez, Isola, of course, from Drew Estate, Zion Yonan, of course, from Al Septimo, and so forth. And to be honest with you, we're very passionate about boutique, and we'll always be boutique. We've got a great show coming up next month as we start with a new up-and-coming boutique brand. They're a friend of ours. So please make sure to come along and join us on that next month. But
see, we could tell them that and they couldn't run. We could tell them that and couldn't nobody run it. But then again, we don't let the cat out of the bag that far ahead.
Well,
even though we could with that one, we could with that one.
This cigar, something? It's not a bad cigar. Very mild cigar. Burns nice. Ash is very flaky. And I wouldn't have put this if I hadn't seen the band in the Oliva family. I would have said more of, and I'm not being horrible, but more of a budget-friendly brand, a budget-friendly cigar. I wouldn't have seen this as being the Oliva cigar. It's not a bad cigar. It's not bad whatsoever. It's had a good write-up and people are enjoying it. And of course, it's brand new to the UK. That's why I picked it up. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. But Grump, how's that Nova and Matthew, of course? How's your Gurkha Year the Dragon? How are they treating you?
Well, it looks really crazy, but it's correcting itself. I'm not like touching it up or nothing. So the construction's really well, and I'm sitting out here as humid as I'll get out. So, I'm not worried about it as far as that goes. It's got a nice earthiness to it. Kind of a light chocolate thing to it. It's nothing really dark. I would say a solid medium bodied cigar. So far so good. It's like very mild spices. It's nothing that like grabs your tongue.
Okay.
It's just something that kind of mildly rests on the roof of your mouth. It just warms your mouth. You feel it, but it's not something that like a
white pepper.
More it's kind of like baking stuff. No, it's more like baking. More like you're baking your warmer baking stuff. That adds a little bit of heat and flavor. But yeah, it's not a real strong. Sholing. I can't ever say it right, but good evening. Oh man, but it is though. It's very nice. I'm enjoying it so far.
So,
and that is the
of course
Platinum Nova Torpedo.
Yeah. Phil, of course, has got a DBL Amarillo. So that's what he's smoking tonight.
All right.
But what's everyone else smoking? Of course, please post it in the comments. And of course, we'll post it in what you're smoking. But Matthew, let's go down, of course, to you and get your take on, of course, the Gurkha that was made by AJ Fernandez for Gurkha, of course.
To be honest, knowing what I paid for it, knowing what it was going for, it's slightly disappointing.
Really,
it's not a bad cigar.
Dang,
but it's
I'm being a bit shocked here, Grump.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
shocked. He just said disappointing. Disappointing. Holy shit!
It is a little disappointing to me because it's on the more medium side of things. It's been one note the whole time. You know, basically. I mean, not just one note, but like, you know, a little bit of baking spice, a little bit of leather, and a little bit of earthness. Kind of it. It's not taking me anywhere fun. It's just kind of doing its thing. It's a perfectly enjoyable cigar, but it's definitely not something I would buy another one of.
No, so it's not transitioning. He's just staying at that one constant note.
just one note all the way, you know. No. And this is where I'm at. So.
But you know something, I don't mind some cigars like that with the one note, and it doesn't transition, especially.
Well, me either, but I don't want to pay $25 for one.
Well, no, I don't.
Really, yeah.
That early morning smoke, and that's why I smoke them Booth Venturas, the Piccolo's or the Fravitos, because I know what I'm getting. It doesn't change up in the notes from what I'm smoking through the cigar, so I don't mind them as an everyday smoke. Now, if I'm smoking something on the podcast or I'm trying something different for a review, I want that cigar to change from the first to second to third. I want it to give me that little bit of extra kick with the pepper. I want that note to change and get that coffee, that wood note, and the cedar and this note.
Exactly.
I don't want floral bouquet. You can keep that shit. I do not want floral.
Never.
I do not want licorice. I do not want Christmas peppermint. So, Phil, that one's to you, my brother. I don't want Christmas peppermint. But
I'm in search of clove.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing about it is, I don't know, man. So, like, when I buy a special release, I want it to smoke like a special release. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this smokes like every other Gurkha I've had, which is not a bad thing always, but it's just kind of, you know.
Phil, you've got issues, brother. You've got issues.
You wouldn't write a letter home to them all about it, right? Tell her what a great cigar you found.
I wouldn't send a text to you guys, let alone a letter.
Yeah, but you know something? You've got to think, right? Let's
Jesus
go
Christ,
back.
that thing have a little stick of dynamite on the end of it, Grump?
If you
it kind of looks like it did, right?
Of course. Yeah, that's crazy. Dang.
It's like Elmer Fudd cigar after he, you know.
It does.
I don't know. If you had been on the other night, Matthew, when Grumpy was with me, I'm not going to name the company, but I pulled out their cigar. It's a $50 cigar over here, NSRP. I smoked it, and I tell you one thing, you wanted to see the fucking stems I pulled out of it. It was crazy.
Oh,
now, I smoked another one
I think
yesterday.
I heard you mention it the other day.
Yeah, I smoked another one yesterday by a big company, and I was talking to DH on TikTok, just having a general chat, and at the back, the wrapper came away. And the wrapper, as it broke, was just like snow dripping everywhere. I'm like, yet. So I couldn't smoke the rest of it. And I was down to the back third. So I got the binder the first. So, of course, I knocked the ash off. I'm like, right, I'll let it sit and I'll dissect it. Every single leaf, from the filler to the binder, was stem after stem after stem after stem.
Yeah. I mean, we've had these conversations with these blenders and stuff, and it's not always a bad thing to get a stem or two, but sometimes they put it in there for added nicotine, for added strength. But we know that it can be overdone, and it's definitely a quality issue when you get 5-6 stems of cigar.
You get a bunch in there. That's an issue.
It was a big issue, and to be honest with you, it kind of dented it as a cigar form with the company, and the company liked the post, but I I didn't give that post an honest opinion of what went on with the cigar, because, like we've said before, when we smoke a cigar, we don't want to trash it. And I've seen someone today post on Instagram, this cigar brand, it's the shittest cigar I've ever smoked. And he got the box of cigars in a tip, open, just got the cigar, the final third, and put it on, and it looked like he kicked 7 shades of shit out the box. And he goes, this is the shittest cigar ever, and it's sitting in the tip. And it's not AI. It's not AI. It's proper generated.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. If I'm going to smoke a cigar and I don't enjoy it, I'm easily going to say, you know what? The taste on the cigar wasn't my taste. The boom was excellent. The construction was excellent. It might be for you, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, it might be for somebody, but it ain't for me.
It takes a lot of hands to make these.
It does.
But that one yesterday, and like I say, not mentioning no names, that was terrible. And like DH said,
that one was
terrible indeed. It was.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
No doubt.
It was.
No doubt.
And you can have a bad experience with a good cigar too. That's the problem.
You can.
Like I've smoked a lot of like here's an example. CAO Consigliere. I love that cigar. Started out as the Sopranos branded cigar. They decided to take that Sopranos brand off of it, just turned it into the Consigliere. It's a very nice cigar. But the first one I had, I don't know what the hell was going on with it. It was smoking a little funky, and I was having kind of a weird day, and I ended up dropping the thing, and the thing exploded like a fucking spring. Like the wrapper just popped off. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy.
Yep.
But I've smoked 10 or 12 more after that, and they were all good. So it's just, you have to be subjective. You have to understand, like, this is a handmade product. Sometimes shit's going to go wrong. They try really hard not to have that go wrong. And
well,
so that's why
Mr. Cigar Smoker.
You can't shit on a cigar.
Mr. Cigar Smoker's put. Yeah, Mr. Cigar Smoker's put here on Instagram, Gear Christmas in the Wow Factor. And to be honest with you, this is where I was going to. Exactly. But if you think of where Gurkha was really high school legacy, best cigars you can ever smoke. Then, of course, the racy slurs of lockdown. The company took a step. They were burning the boxes in the street from the cigar lounges. Reps were leaving because of the racist comments that were made. And then it was the rebrand, the rebirth, the phoenix, shall we say. But it wasn't the phoenix. It was the dragon, the year of the dragon. And we were seeing companies like AJ Fernandez, Oliva, E.P. Carrillo, Leaf by Oscar, blending these cigars. People, of course, have enjoyed them. But to me, I don't think that wow factor is still there. I think I think there's some great cigars by Gurkha. That's what I'm going to say. I enjoy the Sala Reserves. There's one Sala Reserve I don't enjoy.
That's a good cigar.
But I do enjoy the Sala Reserves. I enjoy the Golden Ghost.
I like the Hudson Bay.
Ghost. Yeah.
The Hudson Bay is a good cigar. I've had a lot of Gurkhas that I like.
The Berserker ones are okay-ish.
Yeah. This one's just...
It's all the older stuff.
Just not doing it for me. It's just... it's good. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's an AJ Fernandez blended cigar, so I don't hate it. But it's like...
Yeah.
It's just missing that
it's just not the wow factor. It's just not the wow factor that AJ makes. That'd be the easiest point, isn't it? It's not the wow factor of what AJ makes.
See, they made several.
Smoke, a New World, but
and they came out with several there that, to me, that Beast, Titan, those
terrible.
They just all taste like the same cigar to me. It's like I hit a bad batch of tobacco or something that you know.
And maybe that's it.
But then they got like
it could just be that. Like it just they were bound by what they had, but like
yeah,
still,
I mean, you know, and maybe I need to revisit it and see. I don't know, but I didn't care.
I'm glad you just mentioned that. I'm glad you just mentioned that word. I am the revisit. I'm glad you mentioned revisit because
sometimes you got to. I mean, you know.
Yeah, damn right. That's the thing. And don't get me wrong. Will I go and revisit the cigar that I smoked yesterday? Yeah, I will. In a different, of course, Vitola. I had it in a Robusta yesterday. Would it compete in maybe a Toro? I don't know. Can I get a Toro? I'll have to look. The other cigar that I smoked, was that just one bad one in the whole batch? Could have been. So will I go and revisit that for $50 NSRP? I very highly doubt it because I can go to the other cigars that are probably about a $40 NSRP and enjoy them a hell of a lot better than that one. But there is a lot of cigars I've had to revisit because I've had either a funky day where I've smoked it and it's like, shit, that was, I'm not going to smoke it again. Go 3 weeks later to a month, smoke it again. It's a wonderful cigar. And this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's very hard because, as we know, it's a handmade product. There's going to be off days with the rollers. There's going to be off days with the bunches. As we know, of course, with the tobacco leaf, they get the stem and take the stem out. Sometimes you will have the smallest stem, or there will be a stem added to the tobacco, like Matthew said, of course, to get that nicotine. But every single tobacco leaf with them big whopping stems was just an absolute insult yesterday in that cigar. And it's crazy.
Right.
And it was smoking nice. It got some gorgeous taste, some nice sea salt on the tobacco of the region of where it was grown and stuff. It's just didn't compete.
And if you watch, if you catch any of the big names, on any of their TikToks or other social media where they're in their factories and stuff, where all the rolling's going on, if you listen to what they're saying, so some of those, they have specific rollers in that factory that only roll one cigar. You know, because of their experience, because of their knowledge of it and everything else. And to keep the quality and, you know, to keep everything uniform, there's only certain people that they allow to roll that cigar for that company. You know.
Well,
and
that's
how they fine tune that stuff, you know. But you're still, it's got the human element in there, so you'll never rule out absolute perfection, you know, no defects, nothing going wrong. You'll never rule that out, even with the best of the best rolling it, because it's the human factor. You know.
Yeah, but like you just said there, with the main roller, so they'll probably have one roller that makes great Solomon cigars, so they'll carry on making the Solomon. You'll probably have a couple that make great Lanceros, so they'll keep them on the Lanceros. Yeah. But if you look at, of course, the Diamond Crown cigars that come out of J.C. Newman, of course, they're made at the Arturo Fuente factory. In Arturo, of course, Carlito Fuente, he's got his rollers that are the best rollers going to make the Diamond Crown cigars. So they will just make Diamond Crown. He's got his own rollers where they'll make, of course, the Hemingway, or they'll make this cigar, they'll make that cigar, they'll stay on the Opaces. And it's great to see. And
exactly,
it is a hard job, because you could have had something happen in the day at home before you got working, you're carrying that, and you take your eyes off the ball. The wrapper might be a bit loose where they've put it in the wrapper. The binder could have a vein in it and they haven't properly checked it. There may be a couple of stems in that filler where, of course, they've been putting the filler together and stuff. You could have a funky colour on your wrapper because when they were checking all the wrappers to make sure that they were the same colour, they missed one and it's got a little bit of candela in green on it. I don't mind that now and again. It adds to this stuff, but it's crazy. But yeah.
And then another, when you're talking about revisiting something and giving it another shot, something else that you might want to keep in mind, if you liked something reasonably well, but you were just looking for a little something extra with it, try it in a different size.
Right.
Because you get either more filler in it or less filler in it. You get, you'll get more filler, less wrapper, or you get less filler, more wrapper, which can give you a little variation in taste. And just the same cigar in a different size may be that determining factor, that where you say, well, that's I'm going to stick with, I like it in this size a little better than the other. I mean, just something else to try. I mean, it may or may not work for you.
It's true. I think we spoke about this because, of course, I know Matthew and I know yourself. On the different sizes, there's Corona. We've been going to Corona. Well, obviously, we've been going down trying Lanceros. We've been trying, of course.
Yeah, I've been grabbing some Lanceros myself.
Yeah, been trying, of course.
Yeah.
The Robustos, the Toros, the Figurados, of course, the Perfectos, the Solomons. And don't get me wrong, I like the blackened in the Toro. I'd like it in the Corona, and the Corona competes. But then, going down to the tins at 10, holy shit, that changes the taste again. And it's the same as the Liga 9s. I enjoy the Liga 9. But go and get the tin of Liga 9, totally different.
Yeah,
and
I've heard that.
It's crazy how they change in them sizes and the taste of it. And I'm not a big Lancero fan, and I need to go and try small Lancero, but I enjoyed that Penatella, the Alvis by Freud. That cigar I cannot say enough about. It was a great tasting cigar, and you know something? I didn't have to babysit it. Well, Lancero, I'm normally babysitting. That Pentale burnt perfect. The ash dropped nicely in little chunks, and it burnt throughout. I did not have to correct it. The only thing that I did have that put me off at the back end was the tobacco started tarring, and I started getting that horrible black dribble on the mouth, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, that cigar's done now." But I was really down to the back end of the nub. I was really down to the nub, and it competed all the way through. So if I did give that a viewpoint, it's definitely on an 8.5 that I enjoyed that cigar because it was a great, and I enjoyed the band on that. And that's just what I want to say on that one. Because I'm not going to diss it because it was a good cigar. It was.
But yeah, I'm starting to enjoy the smaller, like the 5 by 50 to 5 by 54s, or even the 6 by 50, 6 by 54s. Both of those sizes, I'm starting to enjoy those more than the bigger ring gauges. And then of course,
can't with bigger ring gauges.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm about done with that 60 and above ring gauge thing.
I've always been.
And some of the Lanceros that I've had recently are very nice, very flavorful. So, and I don't mind those at all. So,
I'm a big fan of Coronas in general. I like a Corona.
I'm still you guys.
That 5.5 by 40 to 5.5 by 40 is like a perfect size cigar. You get
it's a nice
that extra wrapper flavor. You get a nice burn. You get, it's just a nice, they can even still smoke, up to an hour. Even me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like to me, I love that. Tonight I had a 6 3/4 by whatever figurado, and I smoked that thing in just almost an hour flat. So
don't get me wrong. I don't mind a 770. Like I say,
it's a good cigar.
Alec Bradley.
But man,
the Alec Bradley, the Texas Lancero, that's a long ass cigar to smoke, and I get joy.
Them 2 and 3 10-hour cigars.
Yeah, I get it, of course, with the Silems, them bigger ring gauges, of course, the 100s, the 90s and stuff. But to me, they're a novelty cigar. I can't get into that novelty cigar thing. Because you imagine sitting for 3 hours puffing on a 90 fucking ring gauge. Your mouth has got to be itching to the point you're sitting and you're trying to have a drink and you're dribbling because your mouth's like, because your mouth's dead.
What is happening?
I couldn't do it with a 90 ring gauge. I couldn't do it with a 100 ring gauge. Fucking hell.
No thanks.
It's just crazy. And to be honest, dude, too much money. I haven't. I like to try different sizes. I like to try different Vitolas because there's a lot, and you know something, it changes that taste profile up, and that's what it's about. But of course, Grump's taking off the band, and it's a double band. Oh, and he's still got the ash. He's still got his ash. Oh, is it going to fall off this time? Boom. No,
I can't find the scene. There it is. Let's see here.
2 hours
trying to find the end of
for the
Scotch tape.
70. That's not bad. 2 hours and 15 minutes on the 770. It's not bad. It isn't.
That cigar is just too big to me. I love the flatheads. I just don't have any interest in the 770.
Do you reckon? And I just want to kind of finish this off with this because I know time's coming up, and I know you've probably got own work to be doing, Matthew, because I know you're very busy and stuff. Do you reckon there's companies are taking their eyes off what's happening? And what I mean by that is when they get into the next league of where they are, does they now become legacy? And they're a big name, they're selling loads of cigars. Do you reckon they take their eyes off the ball and they don't go to the factory as much? Because they're enjoying the money. Where boutique, as we know, of course, with Daniel, of course, at you fucking hell, help me out, Matthew. Domain cigars. There we go. Daniel at Domain.
Yeah.
There we go. Bang! It just came. He's there at the factory. He's watching the process happening. We know, of course, other people, they're there at the factory and they're watching the process. They're visiting every other 2 months to go and check see how the cigars are. They're on the phone ringing and having a face call. Do you reckon there's these other companies they take their eyes off? Because I think some of them have. But what I've smoked quite recently, I think they're taking their eyes off the ball.
Well, I think part of it is just they're forced to. They have to handle a much larger workload in terms of, when you get that big, you end up having way more overhead. You end up having way more employees. You end up having way more balls in the air. And it's just impossible to spend all your time looking at quality when you have to worry about a business being run. That's why a lot of the companies have, one person that kind of handles the business and another person that, handles the blending and and that side of things. Even at the boutique level, you see that sometimes. So it's hard. It's hard to say, like, if they're really dropping the ball, or if it's just a matter of, things are going to change, and you're going to run into situations where, oh, well, now I have this new situation that I got to deal with. Let me see how it goes. Oh, well, that didn't go that great. Next time I'll handle it better. You know what I mean?
Grump, what do you reckon on that one, bro? What's your viewpoint?
As far as just throwing it around, but when it comes to the big names that everybody's heard, that everybody knows, like you said, when you get to that level of the legacy brand, you've got a lot of those balls up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of things you're juggling. You got a lot of things going on. So you've got to surround yourself with those people like Matthew's talking about, that you put in charge of these specific parts of the operation. You've got to surround yourself with people who are like-minded with you as far as what they know you expect, and you got to surround yourself with those kind of people. And
if
because
you make the wrong decision, you're years behind.
Exactly. And see, the legacy guys, they get to that point where, they become the face of it, and they're out here doing the events, the promos, talking to the people, the face in the public. But they've got to have those trusted people back at the factory covering things. And now, as far as the boutique goes, if you're paying close attention, you're starting to see a couple of them, not a lot, but you're starting to see a couple of them that, that are starting to lean that way. They're starting to, they've got their reps out there repping their products, getting it out, getting it in places, and they're doing a lot of the promo work, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out for them, because they need to be making some sort of connection with those factories to keep an eye on their quality. So and then they've got to go by the same. I mean, if they're going to be the face of their business, they've got to have people out there they can trust, people out there that are like-minded as far as their quality, their product, and what they want. But I think that's an important thing with either way. But the legacy guys, I do think sometimes maybe have a tendency to lift their foot off the gas just because they are at that legacy level.
Well, what do you reckon? What do you reckon then? Of course, if, say, for instance, Foundation, we know Nip Manillo doesn't go to many events.
Yep.
We know, of course, it's either Eduardo or it's one of the other reps that are repping, or of course over here it's 1573, the importer that's there. Nip Manillo's not. Nip Manillo's normally in the factory. He's there, of course. He's checking. There's everything's going. He's going to another factory to start another blend and stuff. Right. Do you reckon that works for certain people, or do you reckon it's the caliber of people that you've got working for you where you can take your foot off the gas so you can be in the factory because your reps and your importer are there doing that? Well, to me, I think it works for Foundation. I think it works for Foundation because we sat with Eduardo And the wealth of knowledge that Eduardo told us on the podcast was great.
Yeah.
It was like Laurel Tilly being there and Laurel Tilly telling us that information.
And when it comes to trusting those people that you got, I mean, you're gonna know, you're gonna hear about it. You start getting a lot of bad publicity, about a cigar or something, having issues with it or whatever. A lot of them don't want it to ever get to that. If they're going to have an issue, they want to catch that before that gets out.
Right.
That's where you got to have that, as Mike said, middle management. You got to have those buffers in there that are catching those things. But yeah, these guys that spend the time in the factories, I think that's very beneficial. When they're there, they're around. Even if they have middle management that's in charge of things, sometimes just your presence being around is that inspiration. That lets everybody around know that you do care. You do want to keep your finger on the pulse. Even though you're out there being the face of the brand, you're still coming back here and hanging around the factory because you're protecting what you got.
Right.
Yeah. And on that note, everyone, of course, we're coming to an end of the show tonight. Of course, thank you for joining us there on Instagram, Rumble, and also here on YouTube. I think me and Grumpy and Matthew, well, I know Matthew's going to go do his own work, but I think me and Grumpy are going to go and hang around on the after show over on TikTok because, of course,
we
normally go over onto the after show on TikTok with the guys and girls. But
I might just have nap.
Of course. Make sure to mark it in your diary. Next week, The Great Smoke Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, midnight in the UK. If you're crazy like me, we're going to be smoking the Shade to Black S84 blackened by Drew Estate. And then we're going to be smoking the blackened M81 Maduro to the core, made by Drew Estate Cigars, of course, Jonathan Drew, made with James Hatfield, lead singer and guitarist of Metallica.
That's right.
And Rob Dietrich of Blackened Whiskey.
Yep.
Of course, blackened is the end. Deadly nicotine. Is the nicotine going to catch up to everybody? And is anyone going to be sick and get up? Time will tell next week.
I might have to drink a cup of coffee next week. That's for sure.
Yeah.
From me, stay original, stay positive. Thank you for joining, Matthew.
Yeah, man. Just make sure you tune in next week. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be a wild night. And don't start none, won't be none.
And down to our resident crazy grumpy person with all the conspiracy theories, Mr. Grumpy. Finish the show off, my brother.
We didn't get as deep as we wanted to in the rabbit hole, but it's all good. Appreciate everybody being here. And like we said, mark it down. Don't miss next week because, yeah, that's going to be fun. Just remember, I love you. Abba Father loves you too. If he ain't driving the bus, you better switch seats with him because you need both hands to hold on. Road's getting bumpy. Catch us on the next one. Later.
Yeah, and of course, we will be back next week. And we'll catch you, of course, soon. Thanks.
In a world of smoking stories where the good times flow, there's a podcast rolling, putting on a show. The three amigos gathered, mic in hand, you see, The cigar loons are calling, wild and fancy free. Old guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The cigar loons are living out the podcast dream. From humble beginnings, just a thought, the spark. Now they're lighting up the airwaves, leaving their mark. They talk of life and laughter, and the cigars they hold dear, dispelling all the worries, banishing all fear. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The cigar loons are living out the podcast dream. Through debates and discussions, they always find a way to make you feel at home at the close of every day, with tales from their adventures and insights sharp and keen. The cigar loons are truly quite the listening scene. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The cigar loons are living out the podcast dream. So light up your stogie, settle in and hear. The cigar loons are talking, bringing joy to your ear. Guys Grumpy and Matthew, a perfect smoky blend. Tune into the loons until the very end.